Listen, the way we approach our problems and our challenges has a huge impact on the actual outcome of said challenge. Hey, I'm Andrea Patrick, the BU Boss, and I'm here to talk to you about business, beauty, and lifestyle. All of it goes together. I'm showing you how to access those mindsets that help you achieve your goals and live your dreams. I hope that that's what you were looking for when you popped by today. So if it is, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell. Give this video a big thumbs up right now, absolutely, because it's going to be great. So back to this logical situation, this idea of having an approach to the way you solve your problems. The more information we have when we approach our challenges, the better chances we have of actually solving the problem, a more effective, efficient, timely way. And chances are things will work out in our favor if we take the time to really understand the order in which we should approach the problem. That's why I love math so much, because it's about logic. When you get into the higher levels of math, you have various formulas, and those formulas have to be approached a certain way. And if not approached a certain way, you will not come out with the best outcome. I've talked about this here before. I believe that it requires you to have a CEO mindset. What is a CEO? It is the Chief Executive Officer. It is someone who is in charge, right? Here, we're talking about how you can be the CEO of you. Because when you are taking charge of yourself, that enables you to set up the appropriate set of circumstances so that you can do and be your best. It allows you to show people who you are, teach people how to treat you, all the things. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me dial this back in because all of that is coming in this video. But first, I really do want to hit home on this point that the way you approach your issues, your challenges, or anything that needs to be solved has a huge impact on the actual result you get. Here's the thing, you don't know what you don't know. That's why mindset is so important. I recently did a podcast. Yes, I have a podcast, and I did an interview. It's called the CEO Mindset Podcast, and we'll get to what CEO means in a minute for all of you newbies. My OGs know what that means. But I was doing this podcast interview, and I asked the lady that I was interviewing, I was like, hey, do you believe there is one particular mindset that is more important than any other mindset? And she answered the question from a different perspective than what I actually meant, but it was okay. I loved her answer. But when it came time for me to give my rebuttal, I said, yes, I believe there is one mindset that is much more important than all the other mindsets combined. My answer was an open mindset. If you don't know something, how are you going to get better at it? So if you are open to watching, listening, and growing because of experiences that you've been in or experiences you've seen others in, then you're allowing that to fill your cup, to fill your vessel. So now you can operate from a whole different perspective because you have more information. So an open mindset to me is like the number one mindset that we should have. But beyond that, the CEO mindset, I think, is a very close second. Now, let me give you 3 CEO mindsets that I truly believe you need in order to reach your goals and live your dreams. The first one is, like I said, the CEO mindset of constantly evolving and being open to failing forward. Why is this important? It's important because a lot of things happen if we don't continue to move forward. And there are a lot of reasons why we wouldn't. One of those reasons is, surprisingly enough, if you feel stagnant, like you're stuck, or if you feel like you are getting in your own way for whatever reason, or maybe you feel like an imposter, like a fraud. Or here's the thing that hit me last year. I felt overworked, but I didn't feel like I was productive in the area that I truly wanted to be productive in last year. Does that sound like you? Comment below. Do you feel like that sometimes, like you've worked and worked and worked, but yet you've not seen the fruit you wanted to see from your labor? I completely understand that. So shame can be pulled from that, and you might have a certain level of it because you did not reach your goal. You did not achieve your dream. And so I want to talk about these CEO mindsets, these 3. Well, we've given you one, constantly evolving and being open to failure. And the reason that this is important, because shame can take you to a lot of really bad places. It can be the cause of your defensive mechanisms. It could be why you're so apologetic all the time. It could be why you are a perfectionist or why you are a procrastinator. So having a CEO mindset, constantly evolving and being open to failing forward. This is the first CEO mindset. It's going to help you to identify the things that you don't know so that you can grow in those areas, so that you can become more confident in what it is you're doing, so that you no longer feel the shame and you aren't stuck and you aren't using a defensive mechanism to kind of push people away or keep people out of what you conceive as the mess of your life or the mess of your actions. You don't have to use that mechanism. You don't have to apologize all the time. You don't have to use it to diffuse situations, which is what that apologetic mechanism is all about. You're trying to diffuse situations that you deem are a little bit scary or a little bit aggressive or, could cause some sort of conflict. So you go ahead and get ahead of the game and just apologize to diffuse the situation. That comes from not having a strong sense of self, a strong confidence, self-awareness in yourself. But when you are constantly evolving, it means that you have an open mindset and you are willing to be poured into so that you can continue to grow and learn the things that you don't know so that you can get better at them over time. These aren't things that you should get so upset about and blame yourself for or bash yourself for, because I was reading, I think it's Traffic Secrets from Russell Brunson. And in it, he talked about, we see these experts doing amazing things and making all this money and building their communities. But a lot of them, including Russell, took years to perfect their craft, to test their materials, to work with clients. And some of their concepts were great, some of them failed. But by the time we see them and their books, bestsellers, and all of the things, we didn't see the iceberg under the water. We were only seeing the tip of the iceberg. So don't allow these shame mechanisms, defense, apologetic, perfectionism, and procrastination to grab hold of you. Create a CEO mindset, number one, where you are constantly evolving, which means you have to have an open mindset, because when people are pouring into you, you want to be able to grasp that and use it for your good. So you want to constantly evolve, but then you also have to be open to those failures. Why? Because those failures get you one step closer to the yes. If you've ever been in sales or read anything about sales, they'll tell you it takes 100 no's to get to one yes. If you're on no number 50, you have something to look forward to, not something to feel bad about. It means that there are 50 times that you heard no, and you can imagine only 50 more to go, if that. But for each no, you're learning what doesn't work, which is a lesson. It's a growth opportunity, and it requires being open to those failures. I don't want you to get stuck here because I don't want you to feel like you can't do better or that you're not enough. Sometimes, like I said, you just don't know what you don't know. Let's move on to CEO mindset number 2. This one is communicate effectively for better opportunities. What are we talking about here? I did a video on the stages of entrepreneurship. I want you to go back and look at that. I'm not going to go through it here, but I want you to click on it once you finish watching this video, because what I realized, and I talk about this in the video, is that there are stages to entrepreneurship. And if you're not communicating effectively, you're not going to receive the opportunities that you want to receive, because you may be bossing in the wrong stage. You may think that you're at one level, but you're at a totally different level. And the people that you are trying to talk to do not match with the level that you're on. Now, a lot goes into this, including really understanding who you are and what you're bringing to the table, that value, and understanding who your ideal customer is and what it is they're looking for and where they're going to get it. That's a whole nother video. But if you want me to do it, I'll do it for you. Leave a comment below. But for the sake of this video, when you're bossing in the right stage, it means that you've done your homework and you know what your audience is saying, what words they're using, and you know how your value add, your resource is going to help them and be able to meet them where they are. Inside my program, Project CEO, I talk about how to create your epiphany journey, but then how to use it to relate to and meet your ideal audience where they are in their own journey so that you appear more relatable, more credible, and less salesy. So here, with this CEO mindset, you are communicating effectively because you are communicating A, in your right stage of bossing, and B, to the right client in their stage of bossing. And you are using what you know, your experiences, and your value to serve the audience or the ideal client that is in maybe a different stage of bossing than you are. But you should identify what what those stages of bosshood are, actually. You also want to understand how to attract and engage different personalities here. Not everybody learns the same. Not everybody communicates the same or receives or absorbs information the same. And so what you have to do is identify those various personality types and how those personality types are motivated, what inspires them, what influences them to take action. It's a psychological thing. And I actually have it and information on it inside my book, the Be the Brand Business Journal, which I will link in the show notes below because it's a fantastic workbook type book that gives you tons of activities on how you can grow your business and really put yourself into your business, leveraging who you are to get what it is you want. We talk about all things from customer appreciation to finances to networking to things like this, how to communicate effectively with various personality types, archetypes, if you will, various ways to motivate them and encourage them and speak their language so that you can influence them to make the best decision or a decision in your favor, if you will. So this CEO mindset is really understanding how you communicate very well. You got to get down into yourself, dig in, be introspective, and make sure you know what makes you tick. Then you need to understand what makes other personalities tick, what it is that influences them to make decisions. Now, there are various sales techniques as well that people are looking for. I think I go into that into a different video, and I can't remember the name of it right now, but I will link it in the show notes because I know I talk about it. But there are different sales techniques as well that you can use based on the way people like to make their sales decisions, their purchasing decisions. So definitely click down in the show notes and get that Be the Brand Business Journal because it will answer a load of questions. And why reinvent the wheel, right? I don't think that makes sense. All right, so let's talk about this last and final CEO mindset that I want to cover today. That is change expectations and alter outcomes. Oh my goodness. One of the biggest things that I talk about inside Project CEO is creating a personal framework. It is so important for you to know how to teach people how to treat you. It is so important to manage not only your expectations of yourself, but the expectations of other people. So it is very, I think, vital to your ability to make the best decisions for yourself and your business to understand what it is you are strong in, what your strengths are, what your limitations are, what your desires are, and what your non-negotiables are. Because when you operate within that framework, you will begin to teach people how to treat you. You will be able to manage the expectations of other people. No becomes a complete sentence, and then your stress level will begin to go down. There's no need to be defensive. There's no need to feel like you have to be perfect because you recognize that you are now operating, one, in the right stage of entrepreneurship, but two, you are operating in a set of circumstances where you have taught people who you are, what you need to do and be your best, and how they can navigate the waters of you treating you the way you've taught them how to treat you. I love this because it is so important to get to the level of success that you want to get to and accomplish your dreams, because we have to do that in an authentic way. All right, that does it. Let's run through those CEO mindsets one more time. We have the constantly evolving and being open to failing forward. That one is amazing because you are creating that open mindset, the number one mindset that I've talked about. The next one is communicating effectively for better opportunities. This is really understanding how you communicate and how the people that you're talking to are absorbing the information, what they need to be influenced, what they need to hear, how they need to hear it, what motivates them to make decisions. Those sales techniques that you can use that are going to cover the basis of your different clientele. And then lastly, we are talking about changing expectations and altering outcomes. These are the CEO mindsets that I really feel are going to help you achieve your goals and live your dreams. So take time, go over them one more time, and find yourself changing the tape in your mind so that you are accessing these mindsets. And hey, I'd be happy to help you because I have an entire community on how to adjust and access these various mindsets. We have a mindset a month. This month, we're talking about self-affirming mindset. The month of March, you would love it. So make sure that you use the link in our show notes to learn more about the CEO circle. that's the name of the community, we are accessing so many mindsets throughout the year. And I create mindset bundles to share my story. And then inside the group, we're talking, motivating, assisting, and holding others accountable. All right. Thanks again for watching. I look forward to you being back again next week. But if you got this far in the video, that means you are part of the family. So don't mess around with it. Hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell so you never miss an episode, and give this video a big thumbs up. And I want to hear from you. Leave your questions and comments down below. That helps me decide what types of videos to share with you moving forward. Thank you so much for watching. See you again next week. Bye.